Lissy, 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 Lissy. Lissy, Lissy, Lissy. Lissy, 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 Lissy. Lissy. Lissy, 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 Lissy. Lissy.
All right, so we have, let's get some of this tidied up over here. Where did that go? All right, so firstly, NQ overall market. I was looking for a benchmark up here. Sorry, a liquidity pool up here. So I was just on the 30-minute from yesterday's kind of high to the low. We pulled back into it this morning on the 30-minute chart. I'm actually looking for down here at 1800, 390. We'll see what we get. Actually, I moved this limit up a little bit into these moving averages there, but ultimately I'm looking for this buy side liquidity pool that's sitting down here. All right, so we've got that on, and this is actually on an Apex evaluation right there. Over on the stock side on Trade the Pool, we are looking at LICY that's jumping on volume right now. So the idea of this one is just to give you a quick recap of what's in the pre-market, give you some levels to work from before I switch over to the Trade the Pool live stream where we'll do some live trading. I think there's more value in the pre-market right now with these small caps than there is in the main session. In the main session, the big caps have had a lot more momentum on them. So and I'm seeing perfect shorts in the morning. So LICY at the moment, what have I got? I have benchmark here at $1. I've got a 145 for benchmark 2. There's an intraday sitting up here at 108 that we need to look out for. We just broke the pre-market sell side liquidity here. That is what has caused us to, so exactly what this swing up here had buy side liquidity there. The only thing that come down and got that was the switch on. The sell side liquidity, as we know, holds, and it can get an aggressive move if we break above it. So it didn't quite get there for these shorts yesterday, but today we've actually popped over it, and now we're gunning and have got to the benchmark there at 90. So this could have a huge run on it. At the moment, I'm going to take the first, and I'm going to take this one in terms of targets for buy side liquidity. So if it needs it, it's down there around 75 right now. It's still pushing. Still pushing. You can hear that on the tape there. So buy side liquidity pool here. We're just looking for any signs of rejection up and around these levels. So ultimately 140, 150 would be nicer for me, but if I do see it up here as well, let's see what this push how the legs this push has got, and see where we get some rejection on LICY. The news on it out yesterday was an investment from a Glencore to the tune of about 75 million. So it's a decent investment. It's not results, it's not phase 3, it's just they've got additional funding basically, which has got to be good for the company. I see on the daily where they've come from. Yep. So messing around down here in the 40s for a while. They've got that investment now up there in the 90s. I think that's a decent kind of anywhere between 1 and 150 on that news is probably reasonable. I don't think it's going to send it to the moon, but we'll keep an eye on it in any case. What else has happened this morning that's been on there? GXAI is popping. What's that? GXAI is popping right now as well. Where's the last volume day we saw on that, and what was it? Okay, so we're breaking. That was nothing. So when did we have that split? The split was back on Friday, so this is something that we would be interested in. Where are we? Nothing off there. So GXAI. Nothing great down the bottom here either. It's, let's go to a 2 hour. Okay, there's something there I could use. Okay, so benchmark 1 where we're at now, so that could see a pre-market. Benchmark 2 template. TV. Trying to see anything on the 2 minute.
ALTM.
Yeah, that's about it. I'm going to put the bogey level in there around 975. Okay, so potential benchmark here. We're running from 5. We're going for 10. Anywhere up here, 1088-ish, 1070 is the benchmark. We've got the bogey level in between there that does cause some trouble on these tickers. So it's going for it at the moment. So GXAI, there's your levels there, 1050. These can go supernova, so remember this is only an indication of where the funding can run out for these program trades or where they can pull back and grab more liquidity. At the moment it's still pushing, but we will chase that liquidity pool up there. Currently it's going to be sitting down around 650 the higher it gets. So for example, if it did get to 975 or 10, it's looking between 7 and 650, right? So let's just put it in where it is right now. We can move it later. What time we got? 12:33, so 8:30.
SQQQ.
The buy side liquidity pool down there on GXHI. We'll add that. So these are brand new flyers out the gate now on GXAI. What else have we had? AGRX 72 cents. This was a short this morning. It's already got into the buy side liquidity pool. So it was a short up here. The benchmark 2 was up here at 110. It's down there at 90, 20 cents on that. If you like your dollar plays, that's already kind of done. The only time we can really look at this now is if it starts to wear itself out down in the buy side and starts to push out up over above 90, and then you'd be looking for a target
FNGD.
Yeah, so if this double tops either morning or afternoon, you can look for this area to hold it, and if it breaks, be very careful. You can reverse, or why can't I keep that? So sell side pull there, sell side pull on AGRX. Right, just keeping a look up now at this NQ trade. We're now up 820. I'm quite happy with that going into their moving average. So I'm going to try and get it off right here at
Target
790.
filled.
All right, so that's a nice $795 there for the NQ trade, and that is what I'll try and do on the NQ. I don't try and micro get down on these 2 minutes and look for those plays. I just stick with it on the 30 minutes. I mark up my levels. So for instance, from this one yesterday to this swing high, puts a liquidity pool in down here. From this high this morning to this low this morning, putting a liquidity pool here. So that was it. It was like, was it going to break? Was it going to break? No, it didn't. And then it come back to the pool, and that's the time you want to get in. Now, I actually got in late. I wasn't in until this candle had closed there on the 30-minute, which isn't such a bad thing. A 30-minute close, red's taken
FNGD.
out at near or close to a couple of green bars is always a good sign. And then we're looking for the push down. These moving averages, a lot of retail plays like to get in these on the futures, so I'm always wary of that sort of area. It can go and take a look back before it gets down to the buy side liquidity down there. All right, so that is NQ this morning before we even open. And that is a nice trade on the account. Yes, we've got four accounts on the go with Apex, and just past 3 on Topstep there on the futures front. Okay, so AGRX, that was it. AGRX, CYBM. Did I add LICY? Why didn't I add LICY? LICY. So LICY has run up to its benchmark there now. Look, this is trying to confirm to the downside. The buy side liquidity pool is down here at 77. There are other areas above that it can push to today. So this could be a grab. It would still be above 50% of its pre-market range, even if it come down here. So look out for that. The news on LICY. Oh yeah, I just said to you, it was an investment. So yeah, when these plays come off like that, you can target. We've got the VWAP down here, so if they come off on a rejection on these levels, you can go straight in or go in under confirmation on the close. So the red to green, close underneath the moving averages here, target down there at VWAP. Let me just check whether I've used. Should be using this guy here. I don't generally use the liquidity switch on, but I think I have done when I've zoomed out. Yeah, so okay, so you need to be careful of that. I'm going to move this up here. Okay. And where's the session? So there's one down here that we tapped into on the open there, on the open of the liquidity pools. And yeah, so 74 to 68 really, anywhere below there. Just mark that up, 74. Yeah, so there's a level below there as well if we're looking for targets. If LICY is going to go higher today and wants them benchmark 2s at the top, this is the key level. So this is one you can look to short, or you can look to long the break of above. Always wait for the rejection and confirmation when you do so, and take some profit off at the first liquidity pool that you see. What am I doing here after that? So that's your sell side. What time we got? Okay, 20 minutes or 15 minutes. A little bit of prep. All right, so that's LICY. Oh, that's why I couldn't see it. It was up the top there. So LICY potential short on from 88 if you're looking for that, if you like those pre-dollar plays. If not, be aware that you have a gap to fill, right? If this breaks, you could be going higher up to these levels. Just see where anyone else is looking on the daily. What have we got? This guy here sitting up there for 48 million. 03285, yeah, 48 million. So yeah, look up there. 181 is what everyone else would probably have on their radar, and we are above that at the moment on LICY. And it's traded 13 million. I'm getting different information from TradingView there, to be honest. So a volume I've got is, yeah, just over 10 million traded on this today. The question is whether that is right back there. That says 46 million. Not sure about that. Okay, so there is legs on this trade if it wants to pop on that investment news it's got. If not, you are looking for a short if you can get it up here at 88 if it comes back. If not, targets much further down there at 74. That's LICY. Right, quick look back at GXAI. GXAI benchmark 2. Look, there you go. There's the short. There's the rejection bar. Short 10 coming on down now. Your buy side liquidity pool's all the way down here purely because of the way that it run up. It's going to come down hard and fast if it wants to do so. Nothing else there. The only thing it can do is use the backside of the liquidity pool if it wants to run anywhere else. Okay, so that's a push straight into the benchmark. If you want a chance to get in again, you have to wait for it to come back to that level there. All right, it's going to have to come back to 1023-ish. Yeah, so if you see a pop to that and it rejects off, then you can get another chance in there to short. In fact, let's put a little alert on there at 10 and see if we get another chance on the open to do that on GXAI. What else have we had this morning? LICY still coming off. CYBN was into a benchmark, into a sell side liquidity pool that it kind of held up the top there and then come back off for its most recent buy side liquidity, which is where it's working its way out of now. So another one that has not faded in pre-market, still holding up there. Buy side liquidity down there between 49 cents and 47 cents. Looking up there for 69, 70 cents. That's all I've got on that. Anything above that could go, supernova if it's going to go from pennies to pounds or whatever. But yeah, keep an eye on that. The level to break to get up there at the moment. So the top of the benchmark's already been acknowledged. So we would be coming down to this bar here. We're right in it now. So be aware of the break of kind of close above 54, 55. Sell side. Okay, so that is sell side liquidity. So at the moment, this is kind of good for a short. The short hasn't got a lot of legs on it, to be honest. It could come. Oh no, it has. It has. Let's have a look at a 10-minute. Yeah. Okay. So if this is going to be the top, let me see which one worked here. That one worked there. This one. Yep. So your first target is going to be, I should say second target actually. Yeah, down there at 44, 42 area, which is doable. Then if it breaks there even lower, it can go back to where it come from, down in the 30s. So let's see if this is the high. It's putting in the 3 pushes to the top here at the moment. This is disregarding the liquidity kind of switch on. 1, 2, yeah, maybe the 4th push up. So last ditch attempt, and it is doing it on disregarding liquidity switch on here, which is always a pain because I can't get that out of the way. We're about the same. We're about the same volume as the previous push. Doesn't seem to be lower volume than the previous push right now, so be aware of that on CYBM. YMM jumped and stayed up there. I just got 15 minutes here still. In its sell side liquidity pool, okay, there's a benchmark up here and a benchmark up there. So there is an 870 to 950, there's an 11 to 1130 area, so be aware of that. If we do break and close above 780, we could be going long to those areas, okay? But right now, that is a buy-side liquidity pool back from December down to Feb's lows, all right? So it's a decent level, but we've worked our way through that in pre-market, and we're just tippy-toppying out at that level right now at 777. So a break of that. Other people are going to be looking at 8 and 830. I've got it up there at 870. Let's see where it goes. Skin has punched into its... I saw this on the post-market. Right, saw this on post-market. Let's have a look. Drop down. Yeah, saw this as a post-market play. That was its sell-side liquidity. It kind of peaked above it and then slapped right back down into it, but it's still holding the benchmark level. If I was to use this most recent swing, yeah, it's kind of in there, isn't it? If I use the actual low from yesterday, you're down at 380s, and today you are up there. That number calls me every day, right? Same time. Okay, we've got a buy side liquidity pool there in any case on. So I push down into here, could see it work out and get ourselves up there to kind of 590 is the bogey area today. Actually, a little bit less than that. It's halfway. So 575 the bogey area. Let's see what the open's got for us on that. CLOV. What did I short today? I've had a few trades today. Oh yeah, Tenon, SUN and Pixie. So CLOV hit its benchmark in the overnight. Coming to try and take a look at that liquidity pool this morning, so watch for that. If we come into that 88.90 area in the 70s where it came from, if it breaks to the top, I don't have anything else because the benchmark's over here, so watch out if it does. So you can double top the benchmark, or the seller's holder liquidity level will work, and a drop down there as a target for 79. Okay, be careful above it. It could be good for a long, but just be careful on long in these small caps. So Pixie come into the benchmark just a couple of ticks away, just front running the $7 mark there. We do have a level up here. We have a sell side liquidity up here, and we have benchmark 2 up there at 11.15 area. So let's see. But this was a short for me. I shorted this morning. I shorted that from this pop into the sell side liquidity down to this target down at 460. So that's where it was until it broke, and then this was backing it right up. So you've just tacked into there. So watch out for Pixie. It's a kind of an old play. We've seen it before. If we look on the daily, you'll probably see that it's done this a few times on the spikes. It loves to spike. Okay, loves to spike up here. When was the last biggest volume day? 1st of December. Yeah, you kind of, the close is kind of exactly where we've kind of, where's the pre-market? We got into special. Yeah, so if you're looking at the close there, just what everyone else would be looking at, pulling that across, there's a level there to look at if that's what you like. So the 2 minute. If you're going to get any higher, you have to grind out of this area, right? You can push further into it down at 3. The lower it gets, the better the entry. But we've seen these happen in the afternoon. They come all the way back, pop to 7, and then fade off after that in the afternoon. GRPH this morning, another short trade. I do these early bird session, and that is what you have. You have them pop into the benchmark pre-market. They double top into a LiquiVision pool, and then they dump off, and the target is always that first area that we've come into right here. Sure. So that's the buy side pool. Again, if we work out of there, deeper into there, 350s, 340s, and then a push out can see you up to 560s. So long as we break, I think that still holds. Yeah, it's going to be pre-market high on that one. So long as it holds, there's going to be an area a little bit lower if I use this. So, oops. What time we got? All right, 10 minutes. Yeah, so you can see the liquidity, close of liquidity switch on as provided there. So watch out for this level as well. Sell side liquidity. You may want to take some off there and then anticipate, you know, a partial left on to go any higher if you are buying out of these zones. Remember, you know, buying small caps, unless you're getting in at the very low of the dip buy, can be hard work. So TNON was a trade I took this morning because I've been drawing all over this thing. This has, let's clear this up. Okay. So I covered this at 2. It just kept punching in here, so I covered it in the end. Of course, as I did that, it dropped further down. My target ultimately was 195. I wouldn't have really expected it pre-market to do what it done, but it did. So there you go. It's going for the actual middle here, down at 150 or lower 130. If I'd left that on, that would have been beautiful by now. But I took it from, I don't know, it was about 230, I think. 230, yeah, it was about 237 down to 2. So I took 30 cents out of that. But obviously, there was a lot more in it. But who's to know that at the time? You know, the idea is a lot of these play this level in the pre-market and then bounce out of it on the open. So MINM, same thing. Benchmark 2, overall benchmark is bigger. Pinpointed that benchmark 2, which is whichever one of these you could have got in. I think there was numerous. Yeah, so there was that one. If you missed that one, there was that one. And if you missed this one, there was this one. So 3 opportunities to short of those benchmarks there from around about 880s. Hit the target down there at 675. Bring that across. All that liquidity is still there. So again, we could push into this level and come out. What's the daily looking like on this? Yeah, we've been spiking. We've been spiking on this. If there's anything left in it, there is a channel going on here, right? There is. We are forming off these buy side pulls a channel as we speak. So if you was to draw it on, you're kind of getting this sort of thing going on. Okay, so, and we're still in it, so there can be more legs on this. We can double top up to these highs. That would be further deep into that benchmark. All right, so that's MINM. NCNA was a popper at the market close. It was the bogey level, which sits in the middle between benchmark 1 and benchmark 2. Popped in there, didn't give us a vision sell side pull to get in on, and the ultimate target was down there, was for 50 cents, and we didn't get there either. So that's kind of still in play, really. It's only to switch on, so I'm ignoring that. Those 2 levels are still available. IONM is wasn't a play for me this morning. It was a play from the other day. Let's just check what's on the 10-minute here. Okay, so IOM does have benchmarks up here. I should bring these across if I can. Bring these across today. I don't know what that level was, but I'll bring it across in case. Doesn't do any harm. So we're still above that manipulation zone. We've done the benchmark 1, so there's obviously intraday and dailies I'm looking at here. Looking at what we've seen from yesterday, that aggressive punch up in the post market the day before is holding. All right, so we could continue to work up out of this area from 45. If we do, where are we going to look for? I'm going to use yesterday's high in the first instance down to this low. So you're going to need to be careful of that sell side pull there. Okay, so that's it. So 42, not long it to 50. But if we do break there, we could be going on up to 120. All right, that's IONM. NQ still doing its thing. All right, still on the 30-minute, coming down for its moving averages that we just had on this chart here. So still looking at to get down to 388, possibly further into the box about halfway, 68. All right, that is that this morning. So that is the quick recap for LiquiVision this morning. We will be switching over to trade the pool in, well, 5 minutes. All right, guys, I will see you there back in a sec.